Conor McGregor has arrived for UFC 329 Fight Week, already voicing a clear frustration. Speaking with ESPN MMA's Brett Okamoto, McGregor expressed his annoyance at being consistently omitted from lists of the greatest featherweights.
Featherweight of all time, or this ranking system of the greatest featherweights, that I'd beaten these men and hadn't been in the list. How have I beaten these men easily and handily and yet be kept from the list?
You know, one of the reasons I think that you aren't in those conversations is not because your performances lacked anything. It's just there was a lack of performances. There wasn't activity.
Well, yeah, that's a fair shout for sure, and I understand why. I understand the whys of it, but you cannot get caught in all of this. What is the skill? Who is the best? Who is the greatest? Who is the best? And it is me, and the results show this. It's not like the fights weren't there, it was just elsewhere. There was divisional changes, which originally was not me. It was a fighter pulling out, or things of that nature that kind of led to it. So I understand it, however, I don't agree with it. Yeah. I am the greatest featherweight since Bruce Lee, and on Saturday night.
McGregor also spoke about how he found the motivation to return after the leg injury.
In your mind, what are you thinking? What are you feeling?
Confidence. Absolute confidence and excitement to do my job. You got to dig deep and you got to prove to yourself you are what you say you are. And so that was what it was for me. I was using it as motivation. It takes a lot of deep internal work to return from an injury like that. I just use that as motivation. Lovely. I wish for it to be that way, because now I can show. And on Saturday night, I'm
find it, and you just seem to will it. Is it as easy as that, or how? I know you just kind of described it, but how did you get that confidence back to walk in there and face a guy like Max Holloway on Saturday?
Man, I don't know. It's above, brother. It's divine. It's not me. It's above. That's how I feel with it. I could question my own self with that also, but I have it. I'm confident, and I'm gonna showcase it. I love this arena. I love fight night, fight week, and God willing, I'm back here next week and the week after. How many weeks is in a year? 54. There you go. I could fight every week if it's a go. Before the injury, I had maybe 3 within the year. People don't recall that. And yeah, now there you go. We plan on getting busy here.
Can we get back to that? Or will even the business, will the fight business allow it when you almost get too big to fight that frequently, right? Or can we get back to that level of activity?
I wish for it. I wish for it. So if I'm the man in the arena, right? I'm the one that's making the walk. So if I'm the one who's pushing for it and campaigning for it, I'm sure that is the case. Now, I've said my piece with the Ultimate Fighting Championship and their staging of my bouts. And they've said their piece, and it's kind of fallen on.
Here's what Max had to say about his fight with Conor.
It's just another fight. It's just another fight for me. It's big. Every time there's a Conor McGregor fight, it's big. We're in Las Vegas. We're fight capital. International Fight Week, even more crazy. The heat is on. The heat is going to be even more on come Saturday night.
Does it get your blood pumping, the buzz that Conor brings to this sport now that you're matched up against him one again? Does any side of that entertain you and get you fired up knowing that it's going to be the biggest story in sports this week?
Oh, for sure. I'm excited. We got other big events going on. You got the World Cup going on, and still people are talking about Holloway versus McGregor too. So at the end of the day, it's a great position.
Conor doesn't need to fight. He has everything. I respect the fact that he's coming back to fight so much because it shows that he's a fighter in his heart. Me, I got to a certain level and I decided to walk away. Conor, he's back. It shows that he's still that fighter despite having so much success. I'm rooting for him. Proud of Conor. I'm a massive fan. I think I will be for the rest of my life. He has had a lot of struggles, ups and downs, just like I have, but he always gets back on his feet, which is a huge example to so many out there. So
if Conor comes in shape, focused, he's a dangerous man. If anybody can come back after 5 years and put it all together and start winning against the best guys, it's Conor. He's a special individual. Even though he's a horrible person and I don't like him, I got to give props where it's due. He has some God-given gifts.
Comment below. Who's winning on July 11th, Max or McGregor? And hit that subscribe button. I'm still a small channel on the road to 500 subs, and I work hard every single day to bring you the latest MMA news, reactions, and fight updates. DC and Paddy Pimblett made a friendly $1,000 wager on the USA versus Belgium soccer match. After Team USA suffered a 4-1 defeat, Cormier kept his promise and paid Pimblett the $1,000 he owed for losing the bet.
I was filled with unnecessary confidence watching us beat Bosnia and Herzegovina. Shit. Bro, I owe you money. I owe you $1,000. I will give it to you. 5. Jesus Christ. 6. 7. This is 840. I owe you $160. Yeah. God damn it. Take your money. Take your money.
He's a man of his word.
God. I've seen you fat before, so don't judge.
I want to fight you.
Don't judge.
You're the retired guy I want to
You still got a lot of poundage to put on before you can test me. I will f you up.
Yeah, and a buffet, baby. Not in a fight. Not about fighting.
Keep talking that golf tournament you're hosting in a couple weeks that I'm going to.
Yeah, I'll fight you there.
I one takedown on the golf course. You and me.
It turns out Dricus du Plessis is a huge Conor McGregor fan. In a recent interview on Fight Forecast, DDP revealed that he can't pick against McGregor and believes the former 2-division champion has what it takes to pull off the upset and knock out Max Holloway this Saturday night. Du Plessis praised McGregor's incredible precision and power, saying those qualities could allow him to accomplish something only Ilia Topuria has done, put Holloway away.
I've never ever made a secret of it. I'm a massive Conor fan, but I'm also a massive Max fan. You know, Conor started coming up when I was just starting out my pro career. His UFC run started. So he was a guy that I genuinely looked up to as I progressed in the sport. Imagine this. Imagine Conor beating Max Holloway and getting that title shot.
I think if there's one guy who can rip up the script, it's Conor McGregor.
As he's done so many times.
Yeah.
I'm going with the Mac. I'm never going against it. I'm never going against Conor. Yeah, okay. No matter against like Max Holloway, massive fan, love him. He's a great fighter, and you know he's a deserving of everything that he's gotten and all the praise. But I can't go against Conor.
Where do you think Conor could win the fight?
You know, Conor has that scary timing. He has that scary timing. Everybody that's fought him says that. That timing, and he has that sneaky power. Everybody that fights him says, when he hits you, you feel it. Yeah. You know, it just takes one. It just takes one. Ilia knocked out Max. You know, it can be done.
Another clip that caught the attention of MMA fans show Conor McGregor signing the official fight posters for his matchup with Max Holloway. While there would normally be nothing unusual about a fighter leaving his signature, Conor looked completely uninterested, casually scribbling a few random lines on the poster instead of leaving his usual signature. Although most experts favor Holloway due to his conditioning, fitness level, and form, there are many who think that Conor McGregor's left hand will be the deciding factor.
I bitch about it and you say, well, it didn't land. Yeah, no shit, because I blocked it. The problem is I'm still sitting on my ass, you dumbass. That's the problem. But I remember him saying it didn't land. What? Okay, you're right, it didn't. It's still illegal to throw to the fucking head when I'm sitting on my butt. So anyways, that's me going off my rant. But
no, and I appreciate that perspective. I think people out there will really appreciate you sharing that. And I understand as well, like with Tom Aspinall stepping into this rematch with Cyril Gane, you know, like you're talking about it fucking with your head. Like this guy just basically couldn't drive his kids around for like 8 months because his eye's so fucked. You're gonna go in there and be like, hey man, this is kind of important. Like, please assure me you're gonna do something about this. And just quickly before we get,
you're gonna pay attention to it at least.
Yeah. Before we get into the big card, one more thing. I saw Jamahal Hill is moving up to heavyweight. You obviously just had a blast out performance at heavyweight. When you see people like Jamahal Hill moving up to heavyweight.
Yeah, like you just said, the blackout walkout was a surprise, and I actually only found out. I only asked Conor the other day. I was like, "Did you know about that?" And he didn't know either. So I remember as we're leaving the locker room and the cameras were there, and I kind of recognized that that's what they do for a blackout walkout. You know, they meet you at the locker room. So you knew something was up. But and then the crowd and everything, it was an incredible reception, and we got off, as you can see, to a great start. Well, I think that was it Max's 5th or 6th?
Sixth fight, yeah.
It was the 6th fight in the UFC. Yeah. That's why I kind of laugh at the commentaries, you know, Conor was fighting a boy. I was like, well, he had a lot more UFC fights than Conor did. Only a couple of years in the difference. But yeah, no, there was a fair bit to watch from him, to be honest. It was nice to go against somebody that we had no real worry about, you know, a deep double leg or anything. He's going to stay in his feet.
I mean, just judging by ring rust from Conor McGregor's side, I think Max Holloway, you know, he's been very active. It is a welterweight fight, I believe, right?
It is, yeah.
I mean, that's a bit crazy because obviously Max Holloway, I think, looks good at 155. So it will be weird for him adjusting to a bit of a bigger, you know, obviously McGregor looks massive these days. So having to adjust that new weight class might play a factor. You know, but I think because of the activity of Holloway, I've got to give it to Holloway.
The kid in me wants to see Conor do it, you know. Obviously a big Conor fan. I think most of the kids from my generation grew up watching him and were inspired by him, and I think a small part of us will always believe that he's still capable of doing it, you know. I'm a big Max Holloway fan too, but honestly I think it's an interesting matchup, especially it happening at 40 or at 70 is the most intriguing part. Like Max has been around for a long time. He's had so many fights, you know. I know Conor's older than him, but I think in terms of fight time, Max has probably taken more strikes and has had more fights. And I think in his last couple of fights, we've seen a little bit of the mystique of the chin. It has not.
We're always looking forward to having before a fight.
You know, Sean Strickland is pretty funny. We certainly get to see a good side of him in those fighter meetings, and we get to talk technically, but I always enjoy having a few minutes with Sean. You know, Derek Lewis, I think, actually, believe it or not, is lightened up over the years, so our last fighter meeting with him was particularly funny. You know, they all can go in a number of different directions. In terms of the other part of that question, I'm thankful that not too many fighters sort of get annoyed. I think oftentimes if a fighter's going to bring up a past call or something they take issue with, they won't use the fighter meeting as the setting in which they want to sort of challenge you on that. They might message you on Instagram. But thankfully, not too many fighters have gotten annoyed. We try to keep it short and sweet and on to the next. But yeah, I mean, Strickland is amusing. Yeah, I'm trying to draw on a couple of different...
Tom Aspinall states the most crucial issue for Conor McGregor's upcoming fight isn't his opponent, but rather McGregor's chosen approach. Though Conor McGregor used grappling in his previous outing, Aspinall finds it unlikely the Irishman will prioritize it after a prolonged absence.
McGregor, Max Holloway's shown some... Mate, he's striking, like his striking IQ is so good. Doesn't get hit much. But then in the first fight, McGregor grappled him. He might grapple him again. Like that. I know that how many years ago was that? It's probably like 10 years ago, weren't it?
Would you grapple someone though if you've had that amount of time off? Is that probably an easy? Let's just for us fans, how do you sort of look at something like that? You've had 6 years out.
Yeah.
Your gas tank. When you're coming to a fight? Is there a difference in if he's going full strike and he's going to be knackered after a few rounds and this is a 5-round fight? Would grappling help him, or grappling's just as exhausting, right?
Grappling's probably more exhausting. It just depends though, because if McGregor's looking for a knockout, that's exhausting as well. So I'm hoping McGregor's going to be like in full flow, looking for that left hand. Mate, when he's on form, like his fight with Eddie Alvarez, in my opinion, was his best performance ever. Mate, absolutely unreal. Absolutely unreal. How does he look after, 6 years off? That's going to be the interesting factor, but me, like everybody else, I'm excited to see McGregor.
Aspinall dismisses judging Holloway solely by his loss to Ilia Topuria, believing both Holloway and Conor McGregor have evolved significantly through years of training and numerous fights. While acknowledging Holloway is in the later stage of his career, Aspinall points to his dominant win over Justin Gaethje as proof he can still perform at an elite level.
Is Max Holloway the same fighter after that Ilia Topuria fight though? No, because that seemed to...
Neither of them are the same fighter as they were like 10 years ago. Obviously, they've like been massive gaps. They've also got a lot more miles on the clock and stuff like that. I think that, yeah, Max is definitely later on in his career. Max though, mate, Max puts on some unbelievable performances. When we seen him fight Justin Gaethje, it was unreal. That wasn't that long ago. Like, that was a couple of years ago, was it? Last year, was it?
Yeah.
Mate, he's absolutely unreal when he's on form. So I just want to see a good fight. I'm excited to see McGregor back. I'm always excited to see Max Holloway fight. I think this is one to get excited about.
Paddy Pimblett is a true chicken wing fanatic. In the past, Paddy made headlines after setting a chicken wing record at a restaurant in the UK by eating 47 wings. Now, in an interview with UFC on Paramount+, Pimblett revealed just how much he loves chicken wings, saying that even if someone leaves meat behind on a wing, he would happily pick it up and finish it.
Yeah.
Are you talking about like if we were hanging out?
Me and you, like, ask me manager or Blaze there, if they eat a chicken wing and they leave meat on the bone and like bits of like chicken on the end, I'll pick their chicken wing up and finish it off.
Wow.
That no meat gets left uned. An animal has sacrificed itself for you to eat that. So you need to eat every last bit of meat on that bone.
There's like a fluid exchange in that I'm not sure I can get behind.
I don't care.
Savage.
People, and you know what? One thing I can't respect: people who eat chicken wings with a knife and fork. Grow up. Know what I mean? Just eat the chicken wing. What are you doing? Like that is embarrassing. People who eat chicken wings with a knife.
You go sideways and just suck off every.
Yeah, I eat every last bit of meat on the bone. I don't let anything go to waste.
I love it. I love it. Paddy,
gotta be done. Gotta be done, lad. You can't let no meat.
Whereas many people consider the long break by McGregor to be a disadvantage, Schaub thinks that this break could end up being an asset for him. He notes that Max Holloway has continued to be consistent in the UFC, and the tactics he has always been using have not changed much since the beginning of his career.
And last time Conor came back against Dustin Poirier, he took a year and a half off and didn't even know about calf kicks and lost because of it. This time he's been off for 5 years. Are there any developments in the game that he's missed out on that would be relevant in the fight? No, especially when it comes to Max Holloway, right? Like Max is cut from kind of the same cloth where you know exactly what you're going to get with Max. You know, at Max's age, he's not throwing any wrinkles. He's not doing anything special. Like we know what you're signing up for when you fight Max Holloway. So I think that's actually a benefit to Conor being out of the game so long, is you know exactly who you're getting in Max Holloway, and that's a good thing. If you're a Conor fan, that's a good thing. There's gonna be no surprises. It's not like he's fighting fucking Hoofy or something like that. We're like, dude, I don't know what the hell he's gonna do. You're Max Holloway. You know what you're getting? Great boxing, great chin, good movement, great footwork. Probably not going to the ground, right? So
Schaub is of the opinion that a win in the contest will not lack options for Holloway, but lacks a next option. A win that makes highlights against McGregor will certainly make Holloway more famous, but the next move to make by the UFC is going to be unclear.
Next, if he beats Conor, dominant fashion, Max bounces back from losses very well and can dog it out like he did with Yair if he needs to. Yeah, Max is in a weird spot, right? Because let's say he highlight reel knocks out Conor. He's this huge name. Is Justin going, all right, that's the fight that'll get me up and I'll put my belt on the line. We can do that rematch. You know, does that do it? Or, you know, where Max is at in his career, does he fancy himself a 170er? I don't think so. You know, does he challenge Islam? That'd be a nightmare for him. Does the UFC use him as a launching board for these guys coming up, like Yair Rodriguez at 55, Dio Lopez at 55? You know, do they do Max versus Paddy if Paddy gets a big win? You know, what do they do? The point is, there's a lot of options for both gentlemen if they win. A lot of.
Bobby Green has revealed that he initially didn't want to fight Terrence McKinney at UFC 329. Speaking in a recent interview with John Anik and Kenny Florian, King Green explained why he ultimately accepted a fight against his friend McKinney this weekend, revealing the real reason behind the matchup and why he was reluctant to take it in the first place.
Because Terrence and I are supposed to be friends. I thought you was a friend. I thought you was a homie. So I'm talking to him like, so why you want to fight me? Is it that like I'm getting that shine and you want to take my shine? What I want to tell Terrence is this. Whoever loses this fight, they're going to say he was washed. If I beat him, they're going to say, oh, you beat a washed guy. He's been beat before. He's been lost. And if he beats me, they're going to say, oh, he's old. He's washed. Like, it does nothing for me to take this fight. We're homies, bro. Like, there's so many other people in this thing we can fight. Like, go build your wave somebody else. Go build your wave, you know?
Right.
So Terrence like, cool, I get it, bro. I'm not going to fight you. So I'm like, okay, cool. We're not going to fight each other. And a week later, he texted me again. He's like, they're offering me the fight.
And he's trying to show me his manager and stuff. And it looks like, oh, they've been trying to hype this shit up for weeks. You know, they've been working at this, trying to get me. And so I already told him we don't fight the homies.
Yeah.
But now I feel like you're pressing me. I feel like you think I'm a, you know what I mean? I feel like you think I'm an easy fight, or you think this is a game, or I don't know what you think this shit is. But now I just didn't answer you no more after that. No more. No, we taking the fight. I didn't even tell him much to take the fight. Like, oh no, we're gonna scrap now because now you playing with me. There's so many other people you could have did this with, but now you share with me. Let's go fight. You want to subscribe?
Thanks for watching. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest MMA news and UFC updates. We upload new videos every single day.